Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for coming, helping us with our market research project. We're just here today to ask a few questions about your living situation with Fordham, whether you live on campus, off campus, and your thoughts about it, just to see how we're going to do a prospective project. So can everyone just go around and introduce themselves?
Yes, I'm Conor, and I'm a junior here at Fordham.
I'm Rose, and I'm a sophomore here at Fordham.
I'm Andrew, and I'm a junior here at Fordham.
I'm Dylan, and I'm a junior here at Fordham.
I'm Patrick, and I'm a sophomore here at Fordham.
I would just like to ask everyone, like by a show of hands, how many people live on campus currently? And how many of you guys live off campus but in Fordham housing? And how many of you live off campus not in Fordham housing? Okay, so I'm just going to get your varying opinions on like the different areas in which you live and what you would like or dislike about your current living situation. So for those of you who live off campus, why did you choose to live off campus? Anyone?
I didn't choose to live off campus. I just got placed here by Res Life.
And Rose, seeing as you're not with Fordham Housing, why did you decide to move off?
Just after 2 years in the dorms, I kind of...
Okay. Do you like living off campus? Do you not like it? What are your thoughts on it?
Anyone?
Anyone just jump in.
What was the question?
Dylan, what do you like about living on campus then?
Bro, it sucks. It's like, you have the RAs, like, always come into your door, and you're like, guy, like, relax. And they just, like, come and do stupid stuff, and you have to sign people up at 3:30, which is annoying. Because, honestly, wait, can I bring up the sex thing?
Sure.
Because, honestly, if you're gonna have sex, you're gonna have it before 3:30, and you're gonna be like, boom, boom, out. And it's just like, yo.
Okay, you're being honest. That's...
Yeah, it's just whack.
The guest policies definitely do put a hamper on.
Oh, it's so annoying.
So even though you live off campus, there's definitely, like, you still have to sign people in and out, and it's...
Well, you're supposed to. I don't. I mean...
But who do you, like... I mean, I've never lived, like, off campus in Fordham housing, so who do you report, like, at the gate? Do you sign people in?
There's this cool dude named Troy. He just, like, sits in the booth.
He is the man.
He does it.
Sign us in and out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. It's safe at night, too. If any people try to break in, you know.
So, like, do you really feel like you have a good sense of security living off campus?
Totally.
Well, Rose knows this. Our freshman year, I don't know if they're the best sense of security because I got beat up by some random dude that was just signed in, and they still let him come in every single day. Remember that?
After that, yeah,
Crazy. They let him. Like, they didn't even do anything.
And, like, did he go to Fordham?
No,
or?
no, and he still was allowed to be signed in after we reported him. The RD did nothing, the RAs did nothing, because honestly, Res Life does nothing. So, yeah.
So you're a huge fan, you really like Res Life.
I love living off campus, it's fire.
Okay. Rose, so living off campus, not with Fordham housing, how do you feel like that compares to, say, like last year living in the dorms?
It's definitely a little less safe. If I'm, like, walking back when it's dark out, I don't really feel safe, and it's more of an issue, like, making sure our door's locked at night and stuff.
Okay, so you would say that living off campus location is very important, or does it just, like, certain areas you feel like are more important or less safe than one another?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in more of a safer area compared to some of the off-campus housing.
Okay, so just like for everyone, if you were to live like off campus, regardless of if it was Fordham housing or not, would you rather be like closer to campus, further away from campus, or is there like certain streets that even if you are close to campus, you would feel unsafe on?
I guess I would feel unsafe on, I guess, Bathgate. Even though it's the closest to Bathgate entrance, it is the sketchiest.
Yeah.
Or Lorillard.
Or Lorillard, yeah. But, I mean, it's honestly, the cons of being robbed are probably better than the cons of living in on-campus housing. I'd rather be stabbed than live on campus again.
Okay.
I'm living on campus now.
Than live on campus.
Yeah, so you're saying again.
Oh, I see.
Conor, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? You really haven't weighed in.
You just have to be careful just when you're out and out, but I don't think it's an issue. It doesn't matter exactly what street you're on. You just have to be careful about it.
So do you think that Fordham should like maybe even like implement a program just like letting kids know like what to do, what not to do? I know there's security alerts, like they always send out about like being on their phones. I know in the beginning of the year like iPhones were like a big issue getting stolen, do you think that it is like important for Fordham to like educate their students about that, or
Yeah,
is it-
because there's a lot of people there who just don't have a clue at what they're doing. They take out their valuables on the street, see it all the time, and I think that there definitely should be some educational video or something that they should definitely take
Yeah, so you're willing to, and should Fordham do that for all students, just students that are going to be like living off campus? Like, what do you think? Because I mean, moving off, I
it
know
just
it's
takes
like
some common sense. But so if you don't have it, I think you should just
stay on
call
campus.
security, get
Okay.
some educational videos. Whatever.
Alright, and living off campus, Rose, like, was this your choice, or did your parents kind of like weigh in on it? Was that a big issue?
It was my choice originally, but my parents approved it.
Okay. And even those of you who are living in Fordham Housing off campus, was it like a concern to your parents that you guys weren't going to be on campus, or?
No.
Parents didn't
No.
really know.
Also, if you were to choose to live off campus, what is like the number one consideration when looking for an apartment? Like, what's the most important thing that you look for?
Well,
The rent.
The rent.
oh, for me, it's like, well, because Fordham gives you closet-sized rooms, I really like somewhere where I can walk, like in my room. The rooms suck at
So you-
Fordham.
So you
You
can
don't
go
want
for
to
a walk
touch.
and
You
get out of
don't
bed.
want to touch the wall.
Yeah,
with your
they're
fingertips.
too small. Like,
Okay.
it's unlivable.
And do you think that even having, like, say in Walsh, if you have like a common area, like that still is not enough? Like your room size is still very important.
Yeah. Well, also I want a single room, and Fordham usually only offers doubles unless you're in Campbell's and Lynch Colony, and those things are honestly the smallest things in the world. And it's far from everywhere, it's just not
Okay.
fun.
Anyone else have anything to weigh in about that? No? Alright, you said rent was like the number one thing. Like, what do you think is like a reasonable price to pay for rent?
Less than I'm paying now.
Do you mind me asking how much that is?
Well, this place for a single, which I have for 9 months, it's like 10,000 something, which is a lot more than a single you could get for 12 months
Yeah.
around here.
Especially with that size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the size, it's just like my biggest problem with the Fordham housing is basically how much you're paying compared to what else is here. You know?
And do you think that, I know, like Rose, like living off campus, like you have to pay for like your utilities and like all that stuff too. Like, do you think that you'd still be willing to pay like to live off campus in an individual home itself to deal with like maybe not having everything like repaired immediately and like dealing with all that stuff too?
Well, even like facilities isn't going to repair anything immediately. Like it'd probably get done faster
Okay.
by someone else.
Okay, so is that also like something important to you guys, like having someone, like having a really good like landlord, or having like a super live with you, like live in your building maybe, so that he can immediately fix anything that does go wrong?
I was gonna say, we should tell you a story, like, earlier in the year in my apartment, we had missing lights, we had one of the bathrooms wasn't working in Walsh, and like, it took them about 2 months to come and fix it, and every time I would call them, they'd be like, yeah, you're on hold, don't worry, we're gonna get it. Oh, I forgot I'm paying for an apartment without lights, without water. Yeah, nah, you're cool, bro. Like, they're great,
Yeah.
they're great.
Yeah, we have a super, and he's pretty good about fixing things. You just usually have to remind him a couple times.
And also, what comes with your apartment? Like, do you guys have like a washing machine? Do you dryer? Do you go to like a laundromat for that? Or
Yeah,
how do you?
We don't get a washer or dryer.
Okay, so you guys just send out your laundry, like get it done. Is that important to you to like have washer dryer in your building or even in your apartment?
It would be nice.
Yeah,
to
it's kind of ridiculous that this is Fordham housing and they don't even provide a washer and dryer. And, you know, if we want, we have to take it to the laundromat, or we have to get inside Walsh when the gates are open. Just wash.
Yeah. So would you prefer to have like a washer dryer in your apartment or just in your building?
In the building.
Just in the
Either
building.
or, yeah. Especially being that was cute. Especially being in like Fordham housing and just seeing like that's just something that's just not here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty normal.
So like when
thing
looking
that
for
you
an
have
apartment,
to
like
do.
is that like going to be a huge like deciding factor for you?
Yeah, what are you doing?
It won't go in.
Why are you doing that? You're just ruining the entire environment. Yes, it is a big.
It is big.
I think he wants to
Is also like speaking of appliances, like is a dishwasher also important to you guys?
The problem is that we live without that. Like dishwasher, washer, dryer.
Has that caused
clothes,
issues though among
towel racks? Like we don't have anything to hang our towels on in the bathroom. Like, we live without the normal things, so we're getting kind of used to it, I guess.
We have a lot of that stuff in our apartment, like we have our own little washer and dryer, which is nice, and then we have like a dishwasher, so that makes things a lot more convenient.
Okay. And then one like last question, I guess. How many people like do you feel is like a good number of people to live with? Like what is acceptable? What is like too many?
I think 6 and 7 are way too many. I know in Terranova they live with 7 people in 5 rooms, and that's way too many to cram into like a 5-person apartment. Not even a 5-person.
Too much testosterone.
Yeah, too much testosterone.
So when looking for an apartment, like would you guys prefer doubles, triples, 4 people?
Like I would prefer however many people it is for everyone to have their own room. So it doesn't really matter, even if it gets up to be 7 people, as long as there's 7 individual bedrooms.
But like, so would you prefer like 1 or 2 kitchens with that? Like the whole like the living space on a whole, like for that many people, like what do you
probably
prefer?
4 people,
4 people
for 1 kitchen, because here we've got 6 people, I guess, and the kitchen just gets.
Yeah.
You eat dinner one night in the new apartment, and it's a ton of dishes to do. All of our silverware is dirty. Every cup that we have is dirty really quick.
Okay, also I just wanted to know, how many of you guys live in the Tri-State area? I know a lot of Fordham students do, so who lives like far away?
I live far away.
I live far away.
I live far away.
Okay, so when you're moving into college, like, what do you think is the most difficult thing about it? Like moving in and out?
How annoying Fordham makes it. They only rent out the bins to like small amount of people, and they only let you move in and move out at certain times. So like sometimes, listen, my parents have work, bro. Like I need to get here earlier than they allow me, and sometimes like I can't be forced out of the apartment like before I have time. Like we have to buy flights accordingly, and they're just the worst to us. Like if you're not Tri-State area, they treat you like shit. Like,
actually, last year I called Fordham Security, and they let me like put everything in one of their little like Toyota SUVs and drove it to the building that I needed to move.
So, if there was a building available that had like storage in the basement, would that be something that you guys would really like?
Probably.
Would that be really helpful?
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
Okay. Also, speaking of like living off campus, like I know sometimes going to the library is like difficult, like especially if it's like raining out. Like, would you guys like a study environment in your building that like kind of like blends? Like you could get like coffee, you could like hang out, you could like read and do all your work. Is that something that you guys
Absolutely,
like?
yeah.
I remember our freshman year, like those foster, not only do they foster community environments and like a sense of family, they also like it's just amazing to get out of your room while your roommates want I can't say that phrase. Want to junk around.
Okay.
So.
So, and also like speaking of sense of community, like that's something that you guys like really value. Do you value that in your college experience? Do you feel like maybe like living off campus, like you don't have that? That you miss that from living in the dorms?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, thanks. Alright, well thank you guys for coming. You guys were a huge help and we really appreciate it. So hope you have a good day.
I hate you.
Can I go back to bed now?
Yes, you are.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.